All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to pre-market prep. Happy Friday. Hopefully, everybody's having a good morning. Had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, brother. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Cannot
I d-
complain. Cannot
how
hear you
was your
very
day
well.
yesterday? I missed a wild day in the markets, that's for sure.
You definitely missed a wild one, man. It was a whole lot of fun. Even after hours, some of the earnings we had were really, really good. So it was definitely exciting, and again, just a wild overall market. If you, I'm sure you saw the charts after the fact. So uh,
Yeah, I mean, and the wildest of them all was Affirm. I hope nobody got wrecked in that. That's bizarre. It's not the first time I've ever seen it happen, but to tweet out your results during market hours in error before you're supposed to release them after hours, that person got to sleep in this morning.
there's
Put it
no,
that way. I hope I hope nobody I hope nobody got caught in that around here. So
agree. 100%, my friend. It was just pure nasty here, guys. What happened to this yesterday? Now, when was the earnings supposed to come out? I know the
last
league.
night after the close,
It was
but
after the close, right?
somebody tweeted it in the middle of the day.
That is that is insane. So here it is, guys. Here's a firm. We'll get into all of that, but first, let's quick look at the overall market. Norman, any news coming out today?
We've got University of Michigan consumer sentiment and 5-year inflation expectations out at 10 a.m. Those probably really won't do much. I want to call out, one of the important parts of, our motto here is one of them: don't trade alone. And being part of a community of experienced traders is it's really a remarkable thing. And I want to shout out to Hamish, which I know he sends you his he builds a newsletter every morning, and it's phenomenal.
Yes, yes.
And I mean, I do my own research every morning. I'm usually up 4:30 my time, which is 5:30 Eastern, and I usually know most of the stuff in there. Today, the last couple of days, I've had to take care of some personal things. I won't be trading today because I'm on pain meds. So I was a little late to get in here and start researching. But he pointed me out that there is a Fed meeting on Monday at 11:30, a closed meeting that they've called. Um, that sounds like an emergency meeting after the
Yeah.
inflation data that could cause they could throw out an emergency rate hike. So yeah, that's what he puts together every day. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. He
So
sends me a copy, and I appreciate it very, very much as well. So thank you, Hamish, for putting in that work. And again,
I,
like you mentioned, being part
I'm a
of a
little worried.
community.
It's up there. It's the first thing, bullet point in the red. I'm a little concerned about that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, definitely will see what happens there. All right, my friends, let's get to it. Yesterday, overall, I mean, just a lot of sell off, a lot of red in the screen when we ended the day. Here's our watch list. Let's start here with
You're
TWOO.
stuck on Hamish's newsletter.
Still, I am.
Yeah, now you're back.
I check now. Is it good now?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So here's a TWOO, guys. Again, gapped up. This stock, it's had a great earnings, and it just slams down here. Yesterday. So again, it's gonna see this throughout many of the stocks we're watching. Here's TWO, huge drop yesterday entire day. Here's Disney as well. Again, had an amazing gap up with good earnings and all that, and then just slams down. The SPY, guys, if you saw this yesterday, pulled a lot of stuff down after the CPI numbers came out. Not immediately. I mean, we had the sell off at the right before the bell at 8:30. We did get an incredible pop. I got to say, I thought it was not going to be a big deal until let me show you the 5 minute actually until a little bit later. So you had this first initial drop here, didn't look so healthy there. Then it comes right back to. I'm like, okay, so maybe they don't care as much, and then you see this happening that throughout the day where we really collapse below what the low of the pre market was, and then some, and even into the after hours. So this move here, believe it or not, is going to pull some stocks down regardless of what their earnings are. When you have the overall market, the Qs, the SPY, everything selling down like that, you are going to get some down plays here. Uber yesterday, how crazy was this yesterday? No, you missed. I'm not sure if you caught this one, but this was wild. It got halted here for news. and I was actually short in this trade. I was short in this trade, and I
You were
got
in the
bored.
halt.
I was not in the halt. I got
Okay.
bored with it because I was short here. My entry was somewhere in this area. It
Oh,
took
that
so
sucks, man.
took so long to get going, man. I'm like, you know what? I paid for the trade and probably broke a little above even. Few minutes later, this happens. I'm like, why can I get
I
caught in
hate
things like
that.
this? This makes the month,
I
you know? Like it is what it
hate
is.
that.
But
Excuse me.
huge drop there. Never recovers after that. Twitter a little bit choppier. There, Apple again, same situation here. The sell off, not as bad as other companies. It's funny. The companies that gapped up on earnings were the ones that actually sold off the hardest, right? So the ones that gapped up, like Disney, Uber, and so forth, sold off pretty bad after the SPY started selling. All right. With that said, let's take a look at our gappers list this morning. Let's look in here. This looks a little bit wider than usual, but that's okay. We'll work with it. We have Z. We have a couple of stuff in the
There's
green.
something going on, man, in the room with you. You're. I think you're lagging. I don't know what the
Yeah.
deal is, but right now it's showing a snap chart.
Oh, really? Oh, there's definitely a big lag then, because I already have my other
Yeah,
chart
it
up.
just
So,
went to the gappers about 3 seconds ago.
all right. So now I
We
got our
need to
main
reset
screen
the
up.
room or something. It's
Yeah,
working. It seems to be okay
on YouTube.
on YouTube.
All
YouTube
right.
just switched to our camera view and the regular full screen, and yeah, my camera's slowed too. I don't know what's going on, guys.
All right. Guys, give me a second over in our chat room. YouTube seems to be perfectly fine. In our chat room, I'm going to reset completely and come right back in. It takes about a minute or two tops. All right, on YouTube, you
Yeah,
can still be
sorry
able
about
to
that.
hear
Hang
us,
on,
and it
guys.
all should be fine there. But let's go ahead and reset this here. I will come back into the room and give this another shot. All right, so here we go. All right, so we are going to go.
Yep. Thank you. Mark G pointed that out from the Fed's website about the meeting. It's. I'm surprised I'm not seeing more people talk about this. I think Hamish first saw it in the Benzinga feed. Something about it that came out at. I'm just talking. Well, let me know when you're back because I'm not looking at the room
Yeah,
right now, Carlos.
that's okay. I'm back now, but go ahead. I
Uh,
want to hear this
it
too.
came out at 6:40, and I think that's actually my time, 6:40. So 7:40 Eastern. The announcement. So that might spook some people. It matters to be considered review and determination by the Board of Governors of the advance and discount rates charged by the Federal Reserve banks. That sounds like rate hike written all over it.
Yeah, yep, it sure does. Guys, we're back in the room. Let us know if there's any issues. It looks like
It's still
they're
lagging, dude.
still lagging. Yeah, I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. Not sure what's causing this lag, guys. Everything else on our end looks pretty good here. We can check other stuff just to make sure. Um, no, not sure what's causing the lag. Let's do one last thing, guys. One last thing. We got a little bit of time here. Hold on. All right, parting over on YouTube. I'm gonna just do one more reset here for our chat room. I'm gonna restart the software again.
I have a feeling it's your that broadcasting software.
Yeah, vMix, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now, but YouTube seems to be having
YouTube
no
is
lag
okay, but I
issue.
think it's some
Yeah,
way, and I think in some way it's doing something to the room feed.
yeah, yeah. Something's changed. I didn't do it, but definitely something's changed there. We'll come right back in and see if that works.
Vegans in the machine. Been over on YouTube's blaming the.
Oh man, that is great. Gotta have
He's
fun on this
blaming
Friday.
vegans messing up the broadcast.
All right, let's come right
Maybe.
back in. Could be, could be. All right, here we go. Let's try this one more time. We'll get our audio in
And
first, and
actually, I'm
then
surprised to see that we're up a little bit this morning.
yeah.
I mean, I'd call it flat, but we're up just a tiny bit. D Miles.
All right, here we go.
D Miles. with the yeah, that's what my wife calls me. She calls me Wild Thing now. I wish it was for the right reasons.
All right, here we go, guys. So I am back in. Hopefully that is better. If it's not, there's probably won't be nothing we could do on it right now until we look at the system a little bit further. But hopefully that's a little bit cleaner now. It is better.
I still lagging, dude. I'm talking, my mouth's not moving.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
it's
know about
funny
your charts and
because
stuff.
on my end
And
in
then
the
it'll
chat
speed
room,
up.
yeah, in the
It's
chat room on my end, I see you perfectly fine, like no lag at all from the chat.
Let's
So
just
that's
power
that's just
through, I
strange.
guess. I don't know
Yeah.
what else to do.
Yep.
All
All right,
right.
guys. Sorry about that, and we'll figure that out. I guess something happened. I do have an update on my machine here coming up. Maybe that has to do something with
If you're in
Windows.
the
I don't
room and
know.
you want to watch it and not experience lag, if
Hmm.
you're having problems, go to YouTube feed. It's fine. We'll post a link in the room.
Yep.
While you're
So
there,
hit that
don't
like button.
forget to it's not that you can't see, it's that there's a lag in the room.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway,
All right.
and I'm being
Excellent, guys.
dinged all over the place. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
Let
you
me.
go. You go to YouTube. While you're there, be sure to hit the like button. Sincerely appreciate it.
All right.
All
Excellent.
right, let's get on with it. We
All
got
right, let's
time.
get. Yeah, we got time. Today's Friday. We can take it a little bit easier. And again, it has been just an incredible week, guys. Let's take a look at what some of the stuff we have on our gappers list. Zillow leading the way here, and Zillow was a whole lot of fun last night. A couple of us in the chat after I was trading that earning session there, so that was a lot of fun as well. Let's do some external linking here into our montage for trade ideas, and we should be all set to go. Oh, hold on. Okay, here we go. I think. Okay, here we go. All right, so there is all right, there is Silo here. Let's take a look at it. This guy's up 13%. Good earnings last night. Went all the way up to almost 60 there, 59. It's going to be good today. Usually this stock doesn't trade very well, but earnings after the next day can be interesting. We'll put that on here. Nice
I
gap up
think
for
they
them.
will. I think they will probably buck their trend and trade decently today. Take note that
Yep.
these guys got annihilated over the course of the last year. Their stock is down 50-ish% in the last 3 or 4 months. They had that snafu with buying houses and being stuck with them and taking hundreds of millions in losses on it. So
Yep. Yep.
you got to work a special kind of magic to lose money in the housing market right now.
I agree 100%. Z is good, guys. That's looking good. ZG, is this a different share class of Zillow? Yes, it looks like it is. So ZG also up here as well.
Yes.
Z was the one that seemed to have the most volume yesterday and does today as well,
Z is, I
right?
believe, the common shares versus the other and trades higher volume. So I would stick with Z myself.
Yep. So we'll stick with Z here, guys. Heading down, we have CDAC this morning, 12.5 million shares flow. Low flow stock. Be very careful on this one. At the moment, not looking great. You had this one initial pop here, and then from there, it just has collapsed. So this needs to get a whole lot better before we start even looking at this. DC FC, this is another one that has popped up the last couple of days. Yesterday sold off pretty bad. This morning, up 10%. 957,000, not a low flow if I remember correctly. Yes, 159. We did have this on our risky pile. This daily, guys, very interesting. Has been very, very active. Just be careful on this one. DCFC, not a low flow, but definitely on a
So
riskier stock.
this is a SPAC or was a SPAC not long ago, and since de-SPACed since the beginning of the year, I believe.
Mhm.
That float information may not be correct. I just want to point that out.
Oh yeah, the 149.
It's similar to what is listed on FinViz as total shares outstanding, not shares in the float. But that having been said, sometimes when things go through a SPAC and de-SPAC, the share number count is not normal or is not the same as what's reported for a little bit, and
Yep,
it's
yep.
moving like it has far less shares than 153 million.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, so just be mindful of that, guys. Agree 100%. I mean, I treat it like a low flow. That's the best thing to look at in this one. All right, let's take a look at GT this morning. Not looking great, GT. Up 5.8, but really no volume here. So I don't like the way this is looking today. We'll skip on that one. NET, I believe we saw this yesterday as well. This morning, still not looking good. We'll skip on that one. And MNTV, oh, horrible, man. This gappers list, not looking
Yeah,
great at all,
it's
guys. IonQ, maybe, but
if
maybe.
that's your maybe, then
um,
I don't feel bad for not trading
yeah,
today if that's the case.
no, today is not looking great on this gap persist, but you guys know what's
I
going to
think
happen.
I think it'll get a lot better. I think people
Yeah.
are just a little gun shy after yesterday to hop in.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to be watching our
SPSW
favorites too.
sucks. There's no reason to even look at that.
Hmm.
Block SQ could be okay.
Yeah, it could be okay. I personally don't like it as much, but you're right. It could be okay. Mara is here up 1.7. I mean, I lost all hope on day trading Mara. Yesterday, again, give them no credit for this. Everything did that, so you could have traded anything in the under the market there and done well. Yeah, so I'm not sure about Mara. Maybe a possible. I mean, that's the best we could do for that. All right, let's
All
take a
right.
look at what's capping down
As
today.
we head to the gap down list, I
Yep.
will remind people because at this time of the morning we get a steady stream of new people in the room. Not new, but people that are just signing on. And just a heads up that the room is lagging for whatever
Mhm.
reason. We've got a technical difficulty. If you want to see it, it is not lagging. You can go over to YouTube. There is
Yep.
the. I just put the link in the chat.
Yep.
YouTube's
Absolutely.
working fine for whatever reason. It's lagging behind in the other.
Yep, and we will figure that out for next week for sure. All right, let's go gapping down, guys. Affirm again, just a huge drop, guys. Yesterday, I mean, this thing here, man, $84 hanging around here, drops down to $50. I mean, insane. This morning going to be in play for sure. Usually the stock not the best intraday trading stock right now, getting a little bit of a pop. Still down 8.5 with 1.9 million shares traded. So definitely on the list. I mean, this thing was just wild. Here's a twist TWST. TWST Twist Bioscience. I'm not sure what this is, but at the moment, doesn't look great daily. Really light on volume. Today they're doing 185 already, so maybe that can become interesting. I'll be careful with this. Yeah, I'll be careful with that. CLF.
It's on word of a secondary. Just a heads
So
up.
not
So
even.
it
Yeah.
might based on what we've had so far, maybe it'll be the best trading stock of the day. But
Yeah, it's not looking pretty. I'm gonna end up putting the stuff we've been looking at, the Apples, AMD, and stuff like that, Nvidia, because yeah, this thing is not looking too exciting. MT is horrible. Doesn't trade very well. UA, I'm not seeing anything good here. And last on this list, FCX, which also is not looking all that great right now. So, not a whole lot, guys. We got Zillow, we got Affirm, Mara, and DCFC. Norm, what do you like on your end?
Facebook, it's been on my list the last few days. It's thrown a couple of good trades. It's got
Yep.
decent moves so far this morning.
Yep. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, guys. I think we're going to be watching this for weeks to come, especially after this drop here, and see how things are going to react. So, FB definitely on the list. We know we're going to be watching. At least I am going to be watching Apple, just to kind of get an idea of the overall tech sector there. Apple is up right now, 704,000. Nice pre-market action. Nice little pop here so far. Still not too high above the previous day close, but the overall move has been pretty nice in the pre-market today. Daily kind of stuck within these levels right now at the moment, but definitely a good one to keep an eye on. Um, let's take a look in our chat. Let's go over here, resize this, and let's see what we got going on, guys. We'll start with Alfredo Facebook. We have already NVIDIA. We'll take a look at that. NVIDIA this morning, pretty similar to what Apple is doing, but I agree. NVIDIA has been very fun to watch and trade. I'm going to put this on a secondary for now because I do have Apple already. What's going on? A firm.
Rafsilla, the
Yep.
diaper king of Argentina, is telling me congrats on my newsletter. That's not my newsletter.
uh, A firm, A firm we have on deck. So thank you very much. What else we have going on? AMD here. Yeah, let's take a look at AMD. AMD this morning, again, very similar to Apple and Nvidia as well. So I'm not going to add all three of these right now. I think with Apple and Nvidia, I'm good on that tech side. So we're good there. Um, ENPH. We saw this was a couple of days ago, right? Yeah, huge pop here, sold off. Very difficult stock to trade, guys. On the volume today, 28,000. This is not going to cut it. I mean, it did well 2 days ago. Nice drop here, 25 million. Now it's back to some not so great trading. So we're going to skip on that one for now. uh, DC, DCFC we have, guys. We mentioned that one could be a low flow, so be careful with that one. WF, the banks were up yesterday.
WTF? Huh?
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it. WFC here. No, I don't think they're really in play. They had a little pop yesterday, right, with everything going on with the market. But overall, I don't see anything going on with it right now, George. Again, I think today's going to be one of those days, guys, where we sit and wait to see what the market is going to give us. I believe these are not the stocks we're going to be watching and trading today, right? So American Airlines, anything happening there? Any T we did look at, Ken. I didn't like the way that looked today. American Airlines, not really in play right now. Has had a little bit of a pop here. Was red. I just think it's just moving with the overall market right now. So I'm not gonna add this to my list just yet. But I like American Airlines. I like trading that one. So if that one gets going, if we see that in our scanners, we'll go ahead and take advantage of that. Here is Baba. Baba this morning up 1.4, 233. The setup right now, not great. You really have to wait for this one for the market open. I don't see anything good on this one right now. It's got okay volume for Baba, 234. We've seen better, but we'll have to wait for the market open, really. Again, I'm not seeing anything that's like heavy in play, or at least that looks very, very interesting just yet. Even AMC here, you don't have great volume just yet. You know, this stock can be very explosive, but you need that volume. I don't see that there. That could come in after market open. We know how explosive this thing can be. The last couple of days, nice run here. The last couple of days, so that could be interesting. Yesterday, nice pop, but gave it back. We'll have to wait on that one. CCL. What we got? CCL. No, CCL's no good, no good. Heading down here, guys. So let's get American CCL, Neo. You know, Neo had volume. What was it yesterday? But again, everything looks the same. Same thing here, guys. Right, popping up above the previous day close. Not a whole lot going on. Um, I mean, I like Neo. I really do. I just think it needs more this morning, man. It really does. Oh, here's our chat. Our chat got in the middle of things here. Let's put that back over there. There we go. All right. We will stop here. SQ Gary. Yes, possible. Possible. I'm just not a big fan of it. But possible. We'll see. All right, we'll stop here. Over on YouTube, let's pick a few from you guys. I saw you guys throwing out pretty much the same thing in the chat, except for Oxy. I didn't see that in our chat. Let's take a look at Oxy this morning. Nothing happening here, guys. Pretty quiet. PRQR. Well, I'm just gonna look this up because it's a weird ticker, and that's the reason why. More of a penny type sticker. No, ticker. No, this is no good. Um, Something like this. You're looking for a dead cat bounce on this. I will be looking for anything on this thing. Be careful with that, guys. Very, very careful. JP Morgan.
I'm surprised I didn't get your no.
I yes, that is a no on that one, guys. Dangerous stock. JP Morgan. I have West Fargo. JP Morgan. Again, there's just not a whole lot going on right now. Maybe after the market open.
Banks will move because of
Um,
the interest rate stuff,
yeah,
but
I'll have West Fargo. They have great volume right now. Expect I have Neo, Tesla. I see a lot of you guys throwing that out. What's going on with Tesla? Again, just pretty much what Neo and everything overall market is doing. So I have Neo for that. If that's gonna go, we'll keep an eye on that one. NET might be worth looking at. A lot of you guys throwing out NET. I don't like it, but I see a lot of you guys like this one. I'm trying to see what looks interesting on this. I don't know if there's a catalyst behind it, maybe. It is a 5.8. I don't like the volume, and I don't like the daily as much. So,
we had earnings
um,
last night.
yeah. Here it is.
They don't.
Earnings last night.
Yeah,
NET. All right,
but
NET. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
got a 50-cent spread, and it doesn't have much order flow. That's my concern there. So
yeah, yeah. Um, right. So be careful on
it's
that. I
got a
won't be
real
watching
sparse
it.
level
Yeah,
too as well.
yeah. All right, let's get to announcements, guys. Again, today this list doesn't look great at all, but we just gotta be patient. I know something will pop up for the market open here. Let's go ahead and take it to our community events announcements. We'll come back and fine tune this list.
All right. Just a reminder: every Monday, everybody that is part of the room, whether you're on an intro membership or anything else, can be part of the onboarding that Carlos does every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. So check that out next Monday. Immediately following that, we now have our new and improved technology webinars where we have specific subjects. Next Monday, Kyle will be talking about advanced hotkeys for risk management, part 2, 8 p.m. And then Eamon's ABCD pattern webinar is posted. Thor's level 2 tape reading webinar is next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Wednesday, 8 p.m., Mike will be talking about focusing on the process instead of the outcome, which is extremely important in trading. Thursday's mentorship with Andrew at 11, Ed at 4:30, Thor at 8 p.m. every Thursday. And don't forget, it needs to be added, John is doing a new trader Q&A that's on Thursday. Currently, it's been at 1 o'clock Eastern. I think that time might be moving, so check that out. A lot of the questions that get asked repeatedly, it'd be kind of a slowed down session and go through whatever questions there are. All right. If you haven't, check out stocktradingsimulator.com. We have built this tool for traders to practice. It's our free web-based replay simulator. Don't have to download any software. You don't have to sign up for an account. You don't have to log in. You don't have to do anything. While you're there, if you'd like to, you can sign up at the bottom with your email. For homework assignments, those will be emailed out a couple times a week. We don't sell that email list or spam you. And if you're watching on YouTube, haven't been in the chat, you'd like to give it a try, you can come to bearbulltraders.com, scroll down about halfway down the page, you'll see that Test Drive Now button. Click on it. When you fill it out, use the promo code PREMARKET24, PREMARKET24. That will get you a discount off the intro membership, which is a one-time payment. It does not recur. It'll have you in the room for 7 days, 5 trading days, and then it just expires. If you'd like to become an elite member and gain access to all of those webinars that I just described, you can use the promo code LOVERS50, get 50% off the annual elite.
All right, thank you very much, Norm. All right, guys, let's get to it. Looking at Affirm here, guys, getting a little bit of a bounce. That's on our list. We have Z here as well. We have Facebook and Apple. That's my 4 for today. I don't think anything else looks all that exciting at the moment. It can get Mara here, can get good. NVIDIA is another tech company. I'll put on the sidelines. Maybe Neo I can move up. But again, none of these are moving on their own at the moment, at least not Facebook, Apple, or Neo. They're just kind of with the market. The only 2 that really have a catalyst today from last night's earnings is like Z, for example, and Affirm as well, which got destroyed. So we'll see how it plays out, but these will be the ones I'll be watching for now, and then we'll keep a close eye on things, how they develop. All right, let's start with Z here. Gonna remove some levels. Z, huge gap up yesterday, guys, up 14.3 now. This morning, great volume 701. We're gonna go ahead and pop in here and put in some levels: 56.48, 54.63, and then above this we do have 59.08, and over here we do have another level here, 61.78. If we move like we did yesterday, we can definitely hit those levels, but we'll have to see. Right now, looking good. Very, very active this morning. Towards the bottom, plenty of stuff here. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and we do have 53.28. Here is Affirm. Affirm towards the top, guys. Plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. We do have a level here as well, 63.01. So we'll mark that down. And then at the price action right now, pre-market, high of the pre-market, 54.56, and the low we do have 51.66 there. So that's good for Affirm already. Give me 1 second, guys. Just want to send a message here. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So Affirm, it looking good there, guys. We'll see where that goes. Again, huge drop for them yesterday. Here's Facebook. Facebook stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. I don't think you need to really add much here besides the low of the pre-market and just the highs, really. Outside of that, you're stuck within this window. from this consolidation we're getting from the huge drop that happened a few days ago. So I think that's about it on there. Do not need to get this more complicated than what it is. Let's take a look here on Apple this morning. Apple at the moment, again, same as we just saw here, just kind of at the low of the pre-market, maybe a level below if we do decide to come back down here. I don't think we're gonna have a sell-off like we did yesterday. I mean, that was very aggressive. I don't think that's in the books for today again, but man, who knows? 170.60, 74, low of the pre-market, 168.29, a decent level, not great, a decent level here of support. It does have a lot of touches, like for example, this 170 to 173 level, right? You got tons of touches there. This one only a couple of days, one or two maybe. Towards the top, high of the pre-market at the moment, 172.74. Let's see if it's going to hold that. And outside of that, I don't think you need to add anything else on Apple there. Here's Neo, guys. Towards the top, you got plenty of resistance up here. We're going to remove some of these older levels. High of the pre-market, I'm going to mark down 25.57. And towards the low, we're going to mark down 24.89. Below this, in case we do decide to go into the red for Neo, I'm going to mark down 23.62. But outside of that, you're kind of stuck here. Just flirting with the previous day close right now, looking to see which way we're going to go here. Highs and lows surrounding the price action as well from the last two trading days. All right, excellent. Let's see what else we have. I see some of the moderators coming in with their list. Looking forward to see what the moderators have on their list today, because our list is very short this morning and also not extremely great, as we can see here. So with that said, we do have Brian on the line. Is Brian on the line here? Good morning, Brian. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, my friend. Doing good.
Good.
We're having a little bit of system issues, so it might be difficult to bring in your video, but we do have your audio nice and clear here. So
Okay, good. Yeah, I think it's going to be it's an interesting day the way it's shaping up so far. We were pretty red last night and red this morning, but all the indexes look like they're going to open in the green. So yeah, markets come back a bit.
yep, yep.
Um, I think there was some of the other Fed members kind of chimed in on some comments that one of the Fed people made. I think it was Bullard, who said he was thinking about a 50-cent rate or 50% or 0.5% rate hike in March, and a bunch of the other Fed members kind of walked that back. So
Yeah.
I think the market's maybe a little bit relief here. So yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how the day goes. I think it's going to be a little bit choppy here at the open.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. I don't think we're gonna get a nice clean open, especially on a Friday, especially after what happened yesterday. So many stocks being disturbed in their peace, really. So
Yep.
we'll see what happens. I noticed that a lot of the stuff that gapped up on earnings yesterday, right? Like the Ubers, like the Disney, they sold off the hardest, right?
hmm
So looking forward to see how those. It just seemed that way. At least that's what I was watching. Looking forward to see how that's going to be today.
Yeah, we do have a few movers this morning. Zillow is one of them. Um, I don't know that I haven't traded it, I think, very often, but it is gapping up here. Affirm and Twist are down. We had a pretty wild ride on Firm yesterday. Affirm,
Hmm.
AFRM.
Yep.
So I think that's one to keep an eye on. It is gapping down, but it is trading above the VWAP, so it's not looking particularly weak here. Would
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
more interesting if it was below the VWAP.
Yep. Agreed.
There's yeah, so yeah, that's I'm just still trying to figure out what to watch, and I'm still interested in keeping an eye on some of these material stocks like AA and FCX, which traded yesterday as well. FCX. So yeah. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm sitting right now.
FC. Oh, you're talking about DFCF,
No,
DCFC.
FCX,
Oh,
FCX, the Freeport McMoran.
oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
material plays. So stuff like that. Alcoa, AA. Cliffs is down quite a bit this morning. It's gapping down, but again, it's above the VWAP right now. So I know they had earnings last night. So I guess taking it from the some of the way it's moving right now, that they weren't taken positively. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they missed on. I guess they missed on EPS by a pretty significant margin here, and their sales um, with estimated sales top line growth was also a miss. So yeah, kind of explains why they're trading down here. So that'll be one I'll probably watch here today, this morning.
All right, there we go. We're gonna bring Brian into the mix here.
My God, huge. That was huge.
There it is.
There we go. Yeah, don't make me too big. Haven't got my makeup on yet. All right.
I'm gonna fix this up a little bit here. All right, excellent, guys.
Energy's yeah, energy's trading up here this morning again. It seems like a common theme.
Perfect. There we go. Um, all right, guys. Let's see. I see some moderators. I see Peter put out some IPOs, MD, MBT. I'm gonna just copy these into the chat. I'm not gonna read them all out, but I'll copy this into our YouTube chat here for our friends. Here's some IPOs, some SPACs that are coming out. Then we got a couple of moderators with their lists already, Peter and Dima. We'll take a look at that when we get a little more from the mods. I'm assuming that they're having a hard time picking a list today because it's not great gappers list. Brian, as you went through it probably yourself, doesn't look all that great right now. It's gonna get better, but at the moment, there's nothing there really exciting.
No. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards Cliff, FCX, AA. Might keep an eye on one of the EV stocks like Lucid or EV or EPEV, because they've been pretty good, and they're looking not bad this morning. XPEV, for
Yep,
example,
yep.
bit of a spread on XPEV. Not liking that part of it, but maybe a Neo.
Neo is the one I have on the list. Seems to have good volume, a good pre-market activity, and then very similar to what Tesla is doing, and also what I think XPEV. So
Yeah. Well,
not
like I
XPEV,
said,
excuse me, Lucid.
there isn't really too much of interest right now that I'm finding. So we might have to. Might be a morning we'll have to watch the scanners as well.
Hmm.
That
Yeah, I
meeting,
agree.
the Fed meeting, closed meeting on Monday, Brian. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that yet. No.
The Federal Reserve released something. This came out. It popped on Benzinga about an hour or so ago, 2 hours ago. It's anticipated closed meeting of the Federal Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, 11:30 a.m. on Monday, February 14th. Matters to be considered are review and determination by the Board of Governors of the advance and discount rates to be charged by the Federal Reserve banks. That sounds like an emergency meeting to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does sound a little. Let's get together and circle the wagons, as they say in Texas.
Yeah, I
So
mean, it
yeah,
sounds like an emergency rate hike. At the very least, something to do with, the purchase or such of
well,
assets and QE. So I'm surprised the market isn't. I'm not hearing much about it anywhere except for that Benzinga deal, and I'm surprised the market's up.
yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people questioning not even about rate hikes, but why given the inflation numbers and where they've been over the last say 6 months and where they've been headed,
Yeah.
why is the Fed still in there buying mortgage-backed securities, and why are they doing that? They should be tapering off that, but yeah, so that's kind of maybe that's something that they're going to discuss. It's two different things: rate hikes and continuing to pump money into the system. So that's it could be that, or it could be also let's get our talking points all the same, because as I said, I think one of the Fed members kind of maybe spoke about 50-point rate hike, and others others contradicted him. So maybe it's let's get our talking points all in line. MU could be
We'll see.
interesting as well. Yeah, MU and Square, I'm kind of also interested in. They've been pretty strong. Um, Facebook could move this morning. So there are a bunch of ones that could move, but right now a lot of them aren't. We're not seeing a lot of price action. SPY is kind of just hanging on to green here.
Yeah, barely. We'll see if
Just
we can hold
barely.
here.
Yeah. This the index that looks the strongest. The one I'd keep an eye on is the small caps, IWM. You can trade that TZA, TNA, depending on which direction you think the market's going to go. But again, it's I think things are kind of looking a little bit undecided right now as to where we're going to go. We might go back into the red on the SPY here. So
yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Guys, over on YouTube, let's give a big thumbs up for Brian, who's going to be joining us in the mornings now here with Norm and I. So let's give him a nice welcome with a big thumbs
Right.
up. Sitting at 213, we'd love to be at 250 or better. But yeah, Brian will be joining us, and we'll go a little later too. We'll probably go to about 9:28, 29. We'll see.
Okay. Good morning, everybody out on YouTube.
See what our moderators are looking at. I'm going to bring this over and just kind of show their list. Let me resize this over here, and we'll see what we have so far. At the moment, here's IPOs we mentioned earlier, and some SPACs are coming. A lot of activity for this Friday, Peter. By the way, on IPOs. Usually Fridays are pretty dead, but a lot going on there. Peter's list this morning: AMD, SQ, Uber. A secondary list: Apple, Affirm, and Z. Susan not taking the day to analyze the week. Okay, good. That is a great day to do that because not a lot is looking great right now. Tiffany, Facebook, and Apple out of town, so she might not be trading. Megan's looking at PayPal, and nothing for Jared except Affirm, which was very fun the whole week. I agree, especially very fun yesterday if you were on the right side of that thing. Hopefully nobody got caught on that nastiness that happened on there. Megan just not tweeted, but just added on here, putting MU and Apple on her list as well. Brian, I know you mentioned
Yeah.
a few already. Anything else that you like on your end?
Um, I'm still contemplating things here because it's not really like everybody's noting. It's not looking, and there's nothing looking that is super attractive this morning. But I would say I'm still looking at Cliffs. Cliffs is now selling off below the VWAP. It looks kind of weak here. But we'll see what happens as we get into the open, because I usually build a list initially, and then I find that quite often as we get into those last 2 or 3 minutes before the open, kind of stocks will start to indicate which direction they're going to go. So you might see Cliffs selling off here, but then it might go back above the VWAP in the last 2 or 3 minutes, which
Which one was that one, Brian? I missed it too.
CLF. CLF.
Yep.
So it's looking weak right now, but we're still pretty early. We still got 14 minutes to the open. So if I see that, if I see this kind of price action, and if this was 2 minutes before the open, I'd consider this to be a really good opportunity for a short, for rising devil type trade. Look for a bit of a pop at the open. Shorted against a drop to a pop up to the VWAP. So, but it's still early, so this might actually come back up. I just don't you just don't know yet,
Yeah.
because the pre-market price action can be a little bit. The market makers can move stuff around more easily because there isn't as much volume there.
Some weird news on their earnings. They missed pretty substantially, but they're apparently
Yeah,
gonna do a $1 billion buyback at the same time. So that's kind of
yeah,
strange.
yeah.
Yeah.
So might give a little support to the stock there. Yeah, that is strange. I didn't see the buyback. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Twist. Twist was one there. I think they're doing a secondary. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised they're trading above the VWAP on that news, but we'll see. I guess again we'll see what happens as we get closer to the open. Um, yeah, markets are starting to leak off a little bit here. The Dow's gone red. IWM is starting to lose altitude here, so we'll see what comes. FCX and AA are also selling off.
Normally we don't keep CLF is not a great one, but today I gotta say,
No,
me and you will usually take this off the list. But today looks really good. This pre-market activity with 2.2
Yeah.
million down 5.7. So some good action right now for sure.
yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, it looks like energy's up again today. Financials are kind of flat. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm kind of struggling here to figure out what to put on my list. But again, like I said, it's still early. It's still early. We'll start to really nail down the list about in another 5 or 6 minutes here.
Here's Store with his list. He's looking at overall SPY, Apple, Neo, AMD, and Disney on his list there. So
Yeah,
what's what's this
Disney
guy?
had
Disney, yeah.
Disney had it's not doing much right now. I've got the chart up from yesterday. It's not doing an awful lot. Of course, they had some a really good earnings report this week. Um, good good attendance in their parks. Some pretty decent uptick in I guess their online services. So yeah, I think they surprised a lot of people to the upside here on I guess that was Wednesday.
No, it was yeah.
It
Well, the
was Wednesday.
earnings was Wednesday, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the
Yep.
daily. That's when the big
Yep.
move
Yep.
happened.
It's interesting is they actually got a, a number of price target downgrades at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
They're kind of mixed all over the place.
Yeah, I love after the fact the analysts jump in and start like all these analysts after Piton came out, they jumped in and lowered all their price targets. Like they kind of and speaking of analysts, I love these plays for when a short seller will go in and trash a stock. You get this sell off, and then it's always a bit of an overreaction.
Yeah.
I think that happened with Roblex. Had a short seller report came out, stock sold
Mm-hmm.
off. Those are almost always a buy opportunity, because I think Roblex is basically back where it
It's up a
started
little
after.
bit from when that happened, I believe. I think it
Yeah,
was around 65-ish when that report came
yeah,
out,
yeah,
and now it's
and
almost
now
70.
yeah. So there you go.
One we haven't touched about on today is Uber. By the way, Uber's action yesterday was insane.
Yeah,
Um, and again, a couple of things. You had the earnings pop, right, and then you had the news that that broke out midday, and that dropped this quite a bit there. Will be Might be interesting today. See how this plays out. Not doing much right now, but maybe later after the bell, things can get going here.
Tracy just said same analyst put buy ratings on the banks in 2008, and she's very correct. There's two professions you
Yeah.
can be wrong all the time and keep your job, and that's
Oh yes,
meteorologist, a television meteorologist, and an analyst.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, what was the news on Uber? Was it? Sorry, I missed that because it seemed like they had a decent. They
They
had
had
their earnings,
an
but then
investor day or something. I forgot what it
okay,
was, but something
What's
with an
that?
investor. They had like an investor day yesterday.
Uber?
I don't Uber, yeah. They
Yeah,
had
they
the
have earnings.
earnings, which they crushed it. But then there was a
yeah,
news that came out midday that caused the halts, right? And then that when that
yeah.
news got released, that's when the big drop came in. This drop
Yeah.
here. Um, I don't want to mix up news, but I know we mentioned something. There was something that caused the drop. I forget what it was.
Yeah, I remember it just it got halted. I
It got
looked up and it
halted.
was
Yeah.
halted, and I thought that's weird because they've already given released their earnings,
Yep.
and usually if there's any surprise, it's, surprise releases or if they've got something significant to say, it's usually done on the call. So I was
But
just kind of surprised.
well, if you missed it earlier, I was telling Norm I was short this stock right around here, and I got out here because I got bored of it. And like I just took everything out almost at break even. A few minutes
Hmm.
later, this happens. I'm like, why can I get stuck in situations like this?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
totally.
yeah, Uber's not a great trader, Chris. I agree, but the last couple of days you see some good action out of it. So um, we'll have to see.
So every index has now gone back into the red except for the IWM, and that's been selling off a little bit too. So we're pretty much opening, even though it is in the red, that we're not really down by much, like less than a point one of a like half of a percent, half of one, whatever. 0.01%, 0.03, 0.04. So we're basically just flat on the opening by the looks
Yeah.
of it right now. Yeah, Disney might be interesting.
All right, guys, I'm gonna
Square,
hop off, put my finishing touches on stuff, and I'll
okay,
be around. Have a good one. Trade
okay.
safe, guys.
Yep.
Take
Sounds good,
care.
Norm.
See you, Norm. All right, I think I am. So we're going to kind of get things set up here. Sort of nail down the watch list. Um, so I'm going to keep an eye on. I think MU is going to be interesting. MU's been strong. I'm just putting that on the list just because it's green. It's pretty green right now, and it has been strong. So we might get a continuation move on that. Going to keep an eye on AA and FCX. Square's the other one that's been sort of a bit of a standout strength wise. Lucid is starting to sell off here. Could be an interesting short.
Nice.
Um,
Let's see what we have here. See some more. See Mike and Eamon with their watch list. We'll go over that in a second.
Neo's starting to sell off as well. These EV stocks look like they're kind of weak. Okay, so we're about 4 minutes before the open. So the EV stocks are kind of showing their hand a little bit here.
Yeah, I like Neil today. Neil looks good. It's got great volume too. I mean, a bunch of them do. Lucid as well. You know how explosive that can be. That's dropping here as
Mm-hmm.
well. Not as much volume. Their daily has been interesting too. Stuck between this 22750 looks like they just don't want to leave that level. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, the daily on Lucid, I mean, it's pulled back and it just seems to be kind of flatlining.
yep. Um, All right, guys, we're going to be getting ready to wrap it up here as we continue live in our chat room. So over on YouTube,
Hmm.
thank you guys for joining us. Let's make sure we hit that thumbs up. We're sitting at 305. Thank you for all that support. Appreciate it very
Yep.
much. Let's go over some of the watch lists that we have here in case you missed it. There's on the top, you have Peters, you have Dima, you have Tiffany, Megan, Jared. The new ones that came out, we have Mike. Mike is looking at Disney, Apple, and Eamon, potential longs today, Viacom, Snap, and potential shorts. He's looking at Tesla and Space on his list. And Brian, I'm sure you'll be sending out your list shortly, and
Yep.
we'll look at that
Well,
as
I can
well.
just give you mine list right now.
Yeah,
It's
yep.
it's Square. Square is starting to pop up here. Cliffs, MU, and then got Lucid and AA and FCX.
All
And
right,
then
perfect.
we'll be watching TNA and TZA. So that's it. That's kind of where I am right now. And yeah, Square is actually
It's,
looking quite
yeah,
interesting.
it's popping up a little bit
So
here.
yeah.
My end, guys, we
All
have
right.
Z, Affirm, Facebook, Apple, and Neo. That's going to be my five for today, and we'll see how things go. Guys, happy Friday. Take care. Have a
Happy
great
Friday.
weekend over on YouTube. We're going to continue in our chat. Remember, on Monday, 7 p.m., we have an onboarding class. So if you want to check us out, use the code PREMARKET24. $24 gets you access to 7 days of 2 chat rooms. The main chat here with Brian and Andrew, which is about to go live, and also the chat with Ed as well. So take care, guys. Stay safe. We will see you next week.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye for now.